Hi friends, I'm Em. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to October's audit of my Libro FM TBR. So quick disclaimer, introduction, whatever. I do a monthly series on my channel where I am trying to read down my Libro FM TBR, and I have tagged all the books that I bring in with the month that I acquire them, and so we are going to go through all of the books that I have acquired in October and see if I am still interested in reading them before I dive into this month's Wheel of Doom episode. I did this for the first time last month, and I felt like Wheel of Doom was way more successful by doing this audit ahead of time, and it's also just like a super nerdy way for me to talk about more books with you all and get your input. The people that watched my Libro FM audit for September were so helpful in giving me more information and telling me what they thought of the books, especially the ones that I was on the fence about, and I just got so much value out of it. So we're gonna do it again. Now I do have 2 October tags. I have a backlist and then I have a front list, and the front list is the last 2 years worth of audiobooks, and then the back list is from 2022 and back. I think I became a bookseller in 2018 if my memory is operating correctly. So there's a lot of books. Let's do the backlist first. So I love it when we start off and I have read some of the books. So I've read Elizabeth Webster, The Case of the Left-Handed Lady. I've actually decided to DNF the whole Enola Holmes series because I'm just not having a good time anymore. And I've read Wolfpack by Abby Wambach, and I like that a lot. Okay, so Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. I really need to read this. This has to stay on the list. Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. I will keep it, but only because it's gay. I'm not confident I'm gonna like it, but it's gay. On Animals by Susan Orlean, I am keeping because I read the library book by Susan Orlean like when it came out, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite nonfiction books for that year, so I'm hoping I'll like On Animals as well. I also do really like nonfiction books about animals. So The Outlaws Scarlet and Brown by Jonathan Stroud. I am going to archive this one. I have been finding myself moving away from middle grade, which is fine. I mean, I'm in my 40s and I'm not a bookseller, and the children I work with are too young for middle grade, and my children and I do not have the same taste in middle grade books, and so I'm sure I got this for one of them initially, but I'm just not interested anymore. Lose on First. I am gonna read this. We grew up watching Abbott and Costello movies. They're still some of my favorites. We watch Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein almost every Halloween, and it's so nostalgic for me, and so I will be keeping this because it's a very specific, like, Emily coded book for me to read. Vespertine I'm going to keep. I love Margaret Rogerson. I love Sorcery of Thorns and Enchantment of Ravens. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I love her. I need to read this one. I've been saying that since it came out. Keeper of Night by Kylie Lee Baker. I think I'm going to archive this one. I haven't heard very good reviews of it. I don't even really remember what it's about, and I'm not interested. I'm not excited about reading it, and I'm trying to, again, keep books on here that I'm really excited about. Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World. I do want to read this because I read the first one and I really, really liked it. Also, if you've read this, let me know. Do I need to reread the first book to enjoy the second book? That would be really helpful. That's the information I need. The Wandering Earth I am going to archive. 100%. This is a short story collection, and I am not a short story person. I do not like short stories. B, I finally read The Three Body Problem, and it was fine. It was just, I don't need to read any more Shishin Liu. I'm good. Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. Again, I've had this book for a really, really long time, an embarrassing long time. I also own a physical copy of this book, and it's embarrassing that I still haven't read it. And I love Zoraida Cordova's YA so much. Like the Brooklyn Bruja series is one of my favorite YA series. It's so good. Charming as a verb, I'm gonna say probably not. Yeah, no, I don't want to read this. I feel like I'm being way more ruthless this round than I was the last time. Stuck by Heidi. Oh, how vaccine rumors start and why they won't go away. I will probably read this. One, because I am really interested in like social media's influence on our lives and how online rumors circulate into real life. And this is also only 5 hours and 7 minutes, so I will keep that on the list. The Emperor's Wolves by Michelle Sagra. Why did I get this? Okay. Multiple races carefully navigate the city of Elantra under the Dragon Emperor's wing. His imperial wolves are executioners, the smallest group to serve in the halls of laws. The populace calls them assassins. Yep. Sounds good. Also, it's almost 18 hours. That's fine. Arrows of Rain. I do want to read this one too, even though I don't know what it's about. But again, it's set in a fictitious post-colonial African nation. Yeah. Okay, I want to read this. Sounds heavy, but good. David Sedaris, The Best of Me. Okay, I haven't read any David Sedaris, so I'm going to keep it because I think this is a compilation of a bunch of his work that has already been published. And you let me know. You let me know if this is a good place to start with David Sedaris. I assume a best of collection is a good place to start. But if you have a differing opinion, let me know. A Grain of Salt I am going to keep because I also love nonfiction books about our food. And salt could be good. I mean, it is good. That could be a good time. It could be boring, but it could be good. God Save the Queen. What? Oh, Essential History of Women in Hip Hop. Yes, please. I'm going to keep that. Tarnished Are the Stars by Rosie Thor. This has been recommended to me by in real life friends because I think the main character is Ace. So I'm going to keep that. And then The Body by Bill Bryson. I'm going to keep that because that kind of falls into my like medical nonfiction kink. All right, that's the backlist. Now we have to go through my October front list, but also backlist. But this one's much shorter. This only has 8 books on the list. And again, we're starting with books I read. Love that. Alebrijes, I've already read. The Portal Keeper, The Woman in Me. The Reformatory by Nana Reeve. Yes, I want to read it. I don't think I'm going to have a good time with it because it sounds like it's really heavy and sad and stressful and kind of like the Nickel Boys, but like 3 times as long as the Nickel Boys. So, I'm going to keep it on here, but I'm not excited about it. By Any Other Name by Aaron Cotter. I do want to read this. This is a YA retelling of something. Romeo and Juliet? It must be, because I don't know where else By Any Other Name would come from. So, and I think I had a friend in real life who read this and thought it was worth my time. Remember Us by Jacqueline Woodson, I will definitely keep because I love Jacqueline Woodson. Extremely Online by Taylor Lorenz. I have already said that I really love books about the internet and social media, and this is also nonfiction. I've heard Taylor Lorenz interviewed before and I really like her, so I will definitely read this. What's the tag for this? The Untold Story of Fame, Influence, and Power on the Internet. Yep, I will read that. Oh, and then Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. Okay, hear me out. I think I might archive this one. I think I'm done with this series because my enjoyment has gone down with each book I've read. I loved Delilah Green Doesn't Care when it first came out. It was 5 stars. Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail I thought was okay. And I have never liked Iris as a character in the other 2 books. And so I don't really want to read her romance. If I'm being honest, my interest with this series has phased out. So I'm going to archive it. All right, those are all the books. So let's see what my TBR is going to look like for Wheel of Doom. So we're going to have 19 books on the wheel for episode 7 of Wheel of Doom. And I'm pretty excited about most of those books. Obviously, there's a few that I want to read, but I'm dreading a little bit, like The Reformatory. I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed that maybe the wheel does not land on that book, but I know if I do, I will be really glad to have read it. So I can't even say I'm not looking forward to it that much. So anyways, I hope you had fun looking at all these books with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts or your feelings about any of them, all of them. And I wish there was some horror on there for spooky season. I mean, there's Tananarive. And I haven't read Tananarive yet, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, all right, tell me your thoughts, your feelings, if you feel like some books were unfairly archived, if you feel like there are other books that I should not waste my time on, let me know. Tell me all the things. And if you want to leave an emoji to let me know you were here, let's leave a house emoji. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye!